Hey guys, so today we try out A Sinking City. It's like an open world RPG where you play a detective, you solve cases and stuff. But some maybe are turned off by detective and cases and shit. No, it has, as I said, it has like skill trees. It's built as an RPG. The map is pretty big. It's based on like H.P. Lovecraft stuff, so like Cthulhu. But it also has combat, there's gunplay, there's crafting, I think, stuff like that. I'm not very good with horror games because I'm scared a lot, to be honest. I never played, but like I can watch it, but I cannot play stuff like Resident Evil, for example, or everything that has a horror tag. So we can try it out at least. I still have like Ark, Insomnia the Ark, but I'm gonna play it when I'm in the mood for it. I still have Technomancer. I think this game, by the way, I'm not sure if this is made by the guys of Technomancer. I'm not sure. And then of course we're gonna try this out now. So I put on settings. We're gonna try it with this audio. Controls, I changed the melee attack to Q because melee attack was left mouse button. So that's very weird. So I changed the interaction and hold, like interact and hold loot object, to E. Of course, like it is in every game, right? Mind's eye, whatever that is, I put it on V. Video should be everything on ultra. There was some stuff not on ultra, so that's weird. Gameplay, we play like this. Wait, aim assist? Why the fuck would I look aim assist? What? Status art, English. It's very cool. You can change the language in-game immediately and you don't have to restart the game. And difficulty, we play of course combat normal, investigation newcomer, so evidence in your casebook will have an icon to indicate you can use it to advance the case. Alright. Most of the stuff, like everything is voice acted, but of course letters and stuff you have to read yourself. So, Frosty, welcome. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outburst of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Massachusetts. Oh, however, it's very hard to spell that word. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours. A city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As lucky has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you there to help you on your way. Accordingly, Johannes van der Berg. That sounds German. Oh god, a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. Oh great. Devil's Reef was on that sign. I mean, I saw a little bit of gameplay on this game on Twitch, only of the beginning. And Devil's Reef is the hotel we have our room at. So yeah. Sure. Mouse sensitivity looks fine. Okay.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Ah, nice. I like this. Okay, so that breaks. First things first, right? Can you put it away? Run, climb, fire, enter. Oh, that's nice. Crouch already on the right tab. But can I not? Like put the gun away? Wait, I have to hold E. Ah. Springs, so there is loot. Oh, there's a flashlight. Nice. That's actually working. There is actually a flashlight on your body, so that's good. Oh, casebook. Crouching works. Okay. Folding camera. Oh, don't tell me you can make pictures. Oh my god. That's so cool. So let's see what do we have here. Letter from J. Vandenberg. Is that what I read in the loading screen? Yeah, that's what I had. Frosty welcome. Yep, that's what I read. So I can do X pen evidence, unpen, space. Okay, we don't see the map yet, but I remember it's very huge, like the city is big. Oh wait. Photo of a trophy plate, okay. Lore. Oh, we have lore. Trophy plate with a strange fish, looks very lifelike. Ugh. That's cool, so you can do photos, nice. And I like to have my camera in my hand instead of the pistol. Let's do one save though.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Ooh, that just gave EXP. All evidence collected.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
What does it say? Monolith National Park? Okay. Sorry if you hear sounds, that's just something on my window flapping.
Now get out!
Sure. Space climb.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes Vandenberg, at your service.
Oh, Johannes. Huh?
I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me your Highness. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Lee. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
I just closed the window, you know, even though it's fucking hot. At least for the recording, because I'm not sure if you can hear this annoying sound from the window. So yeah, I'm just closing it for the recording session, I guess.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
Okay.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already fettered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Yeah.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
Oh,
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
okay.
Well, that's it for now, I think.
Perfect,
Thanks for
we're
helping
good,
me
though.
get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
I mean, I didn't tell me to restart my game, but look at this. It looks great. Right? So, Okay, tab is this. There's sprinting but no stamina, so that's good. Oh yeah. M. Yep. This is the map, by the way, guys. So it looks pretty huge. And what I saw is everything that is like completely like this, like filled out, that means it's like watery, like underwater. So that means it's mostly for traversal. So you basically travel on the boat and stuff. But even though it's still pretty big, I shall say. What does edit mean? Oh. Oh, it places the marks, eh? Danger, mystery. Oh, you can mark stuff. Treasure, mystery, danger. Oh. Horde of Oakmont. Okay, that's the hotel. I'm not sure, I mean, I don't really need to mark it, do I? I mean, let's do it like that. Oakmont Chronicle, Police Department, Hospital, Asylum, oh god. University Library and City Hall. Of course we have skills. For combat, vigor and mind. Lore. Oh, I didn't click it. Correspondence, documents, bestiary, and mythos. Oh god. Frosty welcome, yep. Johannes Vanderberg said that I need to find a person in the Oakmont port by the name of Robert Throckmorton. Yep, and a key. Okay. I don't need to mark anything right now, I think. This F5 quick save? No.
Like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
With this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
What the fuck was that? Gee, I hate shit like this. Jesus, what was that?
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
What the fuck? Albert Throckmorton's will. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throckmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, you don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should never done that. Everything should remain in that cave. Professor Unreadable. I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on. Unreadable. In the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father Unreadable. He's here. Oh great. Also heard you don't open doors with like E, you just run through them. So that's interesting.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouther-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Oh, by the way, I have this stream open on my big TV screen. Of course, it's paused, but I just read in the chat the stuff on the map with the marking. It's basically the game doesn't tell you anything or marks anything for you. And you basically have to mark everything yourself, like quest points and shit. Like you have to basically find out where stuff is yourself, and then you have to place the mark according to that. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
You basically fuck monkeys or what? Jesus Christ.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port. Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the Shells. They are everywhere.
Oh, God.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
That doesn't sound good.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see.
Oh.
Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore.
And I
in
found
a
his will,
lifeboat.
you don't?
These fishermen supposedly
Jeez.
brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Okay. I found the lifeboat. Where's the house?
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
Sure do.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Mind Palace Clue, Mind Palace. Press T. Evidence contains crucial information about what you do and where you go next. To get evidence, interact with objects and people, combine clues in your Mind Palace, and take photos. A white frame in the camera viewfinder indicates that you are aiming correctly. Read evidence closely to identify important locations, then pin it on the map to plan your route. Pin evidence on the HUD to keep track of your current goal. You can also place evidence on the map and HUD from the casebook screen. Select evidence and use pin evidence place on map. Okay. Just wanted to check something. Is this marked now automatically? Oh, it is. Oh yeah, because I have newcomer, that's cool, so it actually shows me the stuff. That's great. Titania lifeboat. Otherwise it's probably too tedious for me, or too hard. I did this, right?
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Yeah, we found the letter. Oh, wait.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
All evidence collected. That's what I wanted. Now we go to the house.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
You see that? You can go in here, but it opens like that. Let's check downstairs first. And also go up here. Looks very welcoming, tentacles everywhere.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Wait, can you? Oh, that's... gets at waypoints, okay. Loot?
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Five cards short of a full house. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Fishy face.
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Looks fishy, the weapon. Oh, whoa, what's that?
Glenna, Nechri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nugulena,
Oh, great.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Great. The fuck?
There was a fierce... There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Jeez.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Choo choo. Ahem.
Shit.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst, and he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar. Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry.
Oh God, you're religious?
No. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea where Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. May have mercy on his soul.
Okay. Wait.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, okay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. And the police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Okay, that's his room. Okay. What does that mean? Combine clues to make deductions. Albert spread hysteria around him. Albert Throckmorton spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. Ah. Maybe we need more clues? Yep. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, yeah.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face.
sounded like... Okay.
Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, run!
Oh, cause I have to do what's what. I think in this case it may be pretty easy, right? So that's one. That's two. That's
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Yep, house brawl. Let's see. Something was dangerous and posed the threat to Lewis Flint, his fellow fisherman. Yep. Immediately started shooting. As an Innsmouser, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throckmortons. There could be a reason to hate them. Yep. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Yeah. Okay. Mind's Eye can reveal omens that guide your way. Oh.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Sounds fishy.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throckmorton rather than just drive him off. Yep. Okay, so he's downstairs. Oh, I can craft, eh? Gunpowder shell casing. Quantity 621.
The door won't budge.
Oh god. What the fuck? Jesus. What the fuck is that? Must have something human in it. I mean, it looks like a little bit human. Like with the hands. Jesus. Wait, what?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Yep. More of these nasty creatures. But why does this one not disappear? Wait, did we get everything? Warehouse? No, we didn't.
There's something in the pocket.
Louis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuss snooping about the port, but don't worry, I struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest, Peter. Huh. Ah.
And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Yeah, Albert was murdered. Louis, the insider that killed Albert, may be hiding at the bar and Oakmont Port. Okay. Let's confront the murderer. So, where is that bar? Must be somewhere at the port. That's this one, right? Yep.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
Alright, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars, circled by the dead. A race from one to the next, as time itself laughs.
Oh.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You are welcome. I can't wait to see what you do.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I want...
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Sure do.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Rock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess...
Just imagine I wouldn't have found this clue.
He's
You would have
upstairs.
gone here. He would have
Here's the
had no
key.
dialogue. Because I
gotta
remember
promise to deal
watching
with him
somebody
once
on
and for
Twitch
all.
yesterday that played until this
Save
point,
the shooting for outside,
and he
huh?
Smart man.
talked to this guy and he had
There's
no
your good
dialogue.
deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling creatures around, like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Tch.
Bye.
Bye. Bartender's key, very nice.
What the? Get them! Oh!
Nasty. say. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the keys.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles
Fish
Reed,
face.
private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it.
Sure, dude.
When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition, reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
Why are they gone, though?
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
Sure, dude. Jeez.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
I think Louis was aware of his actions, to be honest. Louis deliberately murdered Albert. Psychic influence or not, Louis was out to murder Albert Throckmorton. He had a motive too, the mutual hatred between the Innsmouthes and the Throckmortons. I must tell Robert Throckmorton the truth and bring his murderer to justice. Indeed. I think he cleared out of the rage thingy and he thought that it was a good idea to then kill him, you know? To have the bloody mist thing as a good alibi.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
And just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Kay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
Yep.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Nice.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Nice. Lost expedition, key to the headquarters. Frosty welcome is completed. I guess this one does a little bit more damage. So you have anti-shot of powerful blah to keep your mind clear when you need it. Ignore the side effect. Okay. I mean, more experience. You should pick that right from the beginning, right? Probably should get this. No. Probably very good to get, yeah. Didn't he mark the expedition headquarters? That's the Throgmorton Manor, Asylum. Northern cover site at the crossroad. Oh boy. What? Wait a second. Northern cover side, a crossroad of Asher Road and Hubert Avenue. Asher Road? Oh, there we have it. Asher Road, Hubert Avenue. It's here. Okay, so I have to place that. That's cool. We should go to the Devil's Reef Hotel now. Shortcut to the hotel. Robert Throckmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throckmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. I was hired to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Throckmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in southern Old Grove. Like this game so far, to be honest. Yeah.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops. I only remember the screams and the metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache, the worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of a boat helped me survive and reach the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half mad, and babbling about the ancient ruins and the denizens. The officials said none of what I thought I'd seen was real, but my memories are true. My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me. Oh shit, okay. Can somebody turn it so I can read it? All that we see or seem is just a dream within a dream. Oh wow, cryptic. Charles W. Reed.
Never again, they say.
Oh, Laudanum.
No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
Oh. Whoa. Wardrobe? Holy shit. That's some cool ass shit, dude. What the fuck? DLC? The wind coat looks sick though, right? But we are still a newcomer, so we stick to the normal one just for now. And later we can change it. Well, that's like shit like this you see in horror movies. The number of attacks on the Innsmouth immigrants has increased. Raids are intensifying with more and more Innsmouthers exposed to abuse and assault. Sometimes whole families are found dead in their houses. Police are on the case, with several illegal Innsmouther businesses captured and their owners sent to jail. The city ought to have been cleaned by these fish-faced scum long ago, said Robert Throckmorton. But head of the Throckmorton Grant family, I regret only one thing. It all started too late. Had we not neglected our civic duties, my son Albert would still be here with us. Oh jeez. Yeah. And document. Okay. And there's a letter for me. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting an investigation for Mr. Throckmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time. Oh, thank you, my dude. Thank you. Loot? Loot.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
He got his own thing, that's cool. I boarded up the windows and locked the door. They are just men, the Yellow King's gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares. A little longer than I figured about. Uh-oh. Loot. Always like to tick these off so I'm not confused later. Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors, I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave your landlord.
The door won't budge.
Now?
The door won't budge.
But the floor looks kinda fine, but not really. Jesus. What's going on up here? Hello. So the lighthouse is out. Several ships have gotten lost at sea and some are now decorating the city's beaches. That's one thing, but now there's an enterprising fellow at the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tidy profit from selling them. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look into it. Now if only the city wasn't so impossible to navigate. Oh. That sounds like a case. My man. What the fuck is that?
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
What noise?
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Got any proof it was me? It could have been one of my neighbors. I slept like a rock. I didn't hear a thing.
That's exactly what a newcomer would say. Your neighbors are respectable people and would never do such a thing. Don't think your yellow-clad patron means you get away with everything.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
Oh god. Oh fuck. Note about the hobo signs there, and I think I'm finally starting to figure this out. Locals use signs to mark special places that you know already. Kinda like the secret signs hobos use all over the country. What I learned is that the tradition dates back to times well before the flood. I've been able to find out the meaning of one of them. Some of them. You've seen the crooked H-shaped sign on doors around town. That means that the house is inhabited. The crosshatch grid sign marks hidden cages of useful items. The V-shaped sign is for barricaded dangerous places. Good catch there, they say. Still haven't figured out the spiral-shaped sign though. You have to investigate for yourself. And if you see a sign with a cross and 3 Ks, reach for the gun. Okay. Oh shit, 3 Ks? My dear Victor, how is Oakmont treating you? Should you require any support, the Blackwoods will be happy to help you. I have arranged for that. Regarding your question, I don't know where Robert went sadly, only that he did not stay in Innsmouth. Perhaps there is hope he didn't perish in that cursed raid. Take good care of the hotel, please. Plenty of our relatives were interested in the property, but you're still my favorite nephew. I know the Devil's Reef is in good hands. Kind regards, Aunt Portia. Walter K. help you if you hear you're peddling your cheap, unaffordable living again. I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop. What the fuck is she writing, or he? But you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you. You've been warned, Vic. Like plenty of interesting people, eh? And that's the sign, Devil's Reef. What is this? Is that like... It's not a saving. Maybe a quick... okay. 'Cause, 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 Anyway, let's quickly check what the fuck is going on. Lore, documents. Walter, to my dear nephew, reread that. Wait, there is more? Oh, okay. So we have side cases. Oh boy. The hotel owner allowed me to look through the weird notes he found in the rooms of disappeared newcomers. Among them I found several pages from the diary of a man describing his life in Oakmont. He suffered from visions and marked places where they happened. Oh. Lullaby Crossroad. Today I fell asleep on the street. I'm sure it's connected to my visions somehow because I felt the same nausea and headache as before they strike. It happened in Coverside, near the corner of Tanner Street and Old Church Road. I felt dizzy and my mouth was full of bittersweet taste. I saw a woman with kind eyes giving me a drink and whispering something. Immediately after that I fell asleep and spent nearly half a day lying in the dirt like a hobo. It's a miracle no one stole anything from me. The local innsmouthers scare me a lot. I've seen a place with so many ill people their faces pursue me even in visions. Recently I was in the northern part of Grimhaven Bay walking down Whisper Street. I barely made it to Hubert Avenue when the visions came. I stood among many innsmouthers disguised as one of them and listened. Their leader read the story of a captain participating in pagan rites, copulating with savage witches and beasts, bringing sacrifices. I still remember his name, Obeid. After this vision, I shaked in fear in the sound of the child's cry. It happens in Western Heights on Washington Street. I passed Ibon Street and was heading towards Oak Street, but saw the thing was running so fast I didn't even understand what it was. I jumped from the window and the vision struck me immediately. I saw a man, a doctor, hiding in the room. He was writing something with a shaking hand, something like a last will. And then I saw the thing stalking him, a fetus on thin pointy legs with a little face full of evil and hatred and shrieking. I can't forget it. Jesus Christ. I can't help but turn around at any noise after what I saw yesterday. I walked down the Murdoch Avenue in Western Advent, and near Oak Street I was hit with an excavating migraine. My nose started to bleed, and the visions came. I saw one man writing a letter and another about to strike him from behind. Somehow I was both the spectator and the sitting man, but no matter how I cried out warnings or tried to move, it didn't work. It seems I lost consciousness when the killer hit, the man said, and it took me several hours to get back to the hotel after. I'm afraid of the bathroom and kitchen sink. Each time I want to wash my hands, I tremble in fear. What if they talk to me? What? This began after the vision in Western Reed Heights near the crossing of Ibon, Ward and Baker Streets. I saw a man naked and covered in blood in a room without doors or windows, surrounded by the dark holes of the pipes. He was cutting himself piece by piece, feeding those copper mouths. They were whispering with voices so sweet and promising, but full of hunger and hatred. How could he believe them? Could he even escape? And had they noticed me? I was walking the Lombard Street in Eastern Reed Heights when it happened again. It's not just a vision but a noise, hissing radio static, growing louder and louder. Voices from afar were lost in it, crying desperately. I tried to not to show how bad it was. I was afraid to reveal it to the locals. The images came after I passed Bullock Street towards Hallock Street. The hissing flooded my mind and I saw a man surrounded by radios talking to them. He was dying. I felt it, and when it happened, the vision was gone. Tonight the air forced me to leave the hotel. The putrid smell of rotting seaweed and fish made it hard to breathe. I remembered the huge apple tree and thought it may be nicer there. Moreover, I was afraid that the hotel owner would see my seizures. The visions occurred when I was a few blocks from the apple tree, walking E. Brown Street in Central Shells. I felt like I was drowning. I ran forward, and when I passed the street of St. Michael's Church, I felt the water surrounding me, pressing, calling. I needed all of my will to fight the desire to go to the mare and sink into its depths. No matter how different my visions may be, they are always so frightening. Today it was a man. He left a house in southern Old Grove on Warwick Street, somewhere between Seaside and Hillside Streets. Our eyes met and I immediately felt the burning exultation and a wild torrent of emotions. I saw him among the monstrosities, touching them, embracing, kissing. The vision was so intense I bent in two and threw up all my breakfast. He walked past saying something like the cursed newcomers, and I prayed he wouldn't stop to help. Even now, when I close my eyes, I see the creatures around this man. Oh god. I'm afraid someone stalks me. It started when I visited Western Advent and had a vision at the intersection of Purity Road and Oak Street. I saw mirrors full of reflections and someone trapped, trying in vain to escape. His expression of fear and panic shook me deeply. Afterward, a very tall and skinny man started following me in the distance. What troubles me is that I see him in the reflections, but have never caught a straight view of the stalker. I'm sure the police will mock me if I come asking for protection. Seems it is time to buy a good, trustworthy gun and start to practice. Lone child. The visions are testing me, playing with my mind. My old forgotten fears come to life. When it was small, I was afraid to stay alone. I thought my parents would leave and never come back. Today I went to the eastern streets of Coverside, and the visions came in the corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. I felt I was alone, forgotten in a locked room, hungry and frightened. It was so scary to stay inside, but everything was much worse behind the door. Something scratched in the corridor, and there were terrifying screams from outside. I could not run, could not hide, I just waited for Mom to return. The city, no matter how badly the flood damaged it, has an unnatural appeal. I can't stop myself from walking, even if it means being struck by further visions. I went to the eastern part of the Salvation Harbor, near the crossing of O'Callaghan Street and Old Church Road. It came. The feeling of loneliness and fear was immense. Wait, what? I was a woman locked in my room and affected and slowly rotting. My body turned into something. It itched badly, and my face, I had to hold the skin with both hands. Ew. To prevent it from growing until I suffocated. I ended up sitting on the road crying until some innsmouther kicked me and ordered me away. Jesus. Salvation Harbor, east. I see it. I see Old Church Road, crossing of Fitz O'Callaghan. That's here, Fitz O'Callaghan. It's here. Can I mark it, please? Boink. Eastern Coverside. St. Elmo and Kingsport. What did it say? Crossing Eastern Coverside, corner of St. Elmo and Kingsport. We must be here. Western Advent. Corner of Purity Road and Oak Street. I see Oak Street. Here. Western Advent. Corner of Purity Road and Oak Street. Must be here. Southern Old Grove. Warwick Street, between Seaside Street and Hillside Street. So it must be here. Warwick Hillside. Wait. Seaside Hillside. Wait, what? Warwick Street, between Seaside and Hillside. Maybe that's why I'm not from America, but what does that mean? Warwick Street, between Seaside and Hillside. I mean, we have Hillside here. And Seaside is here. And if they meant here, they would have said Heritage Avenue. But I guess they mean here? Between means Seaside on the left and Hillside on the right, for example, and then Warwick is in between, right? Oh, now the winds are getting strong. Jesus Christ. I think we're gonna place it here for now. Central Shells. Okay, where is that? Oh, yeah. E. Brown Street, that's here. To the east of the corner with St. Michael's. Central Shells, E. Brown Street. That's here. To the east of the corner with St. Michael's. Must be here somewhere. Eastern Reed Heights. This looks so fucking dangerous up here. Eastern Reed Heights. So somewhere here. Lombard Street. Between Hallock ST and Bullock. On Lombard Street, between Haylock and Bullock. So here? Must be between. Western Reed Heights. There is Ibon, near the crossing of Baker. Baker, Ward and Ibon. So we have Ibon here. Ward, Ibon. Ibon goes here into Reed and Baker. Oh, and then it's definitely here. Ibon, Ward, Baker. near the crossing, so somewhere around here. I'm starting to sweat again. Fuck. Western Advent near the corner of Murdoch. Western Advent. Where's Advent? So we have Murdoch near the corner of Murdoch, Ave, and Oak. Murdoch and Oak Avenue. Oak Street, oops, somewhere. Western Reed Heights. We had Ibon. Washington Street between Ibon and Oak. I know that Ibon. Didn't I read Oak somewhere? Oh, here's Oak. This is Oak Street. Western Washington Street between Ibon and Oak. Washington Street between Ibon and Oak. So somewhere here. Okay, last two. Northern Grimhaven Bay. Oh, that's... we don't have anything in Salvation. Not really. Grimhaven Bay. Oh, we could check this out. Hubert Avenue and Whisper Street. Between. At the corner. I see Whisper Street, but where's Hubert? Hubert Avenue and Whisper Street. I see that Whisper Street is like here. Right? But where is this Hubert? I see Wharf, Seaside, Clambay, Tower, St. Elman, Privateer, Landing Avenue. Really? Octopus Avenue? Jesus. Fitz O'Callaghan, Webster, Nantucket, Funtlock, Webster, Deep Shore, Uncertainty Street. What the fuck? Is that maybe a translating error because there is no Hubert Avenue? I mean, if you go around Whisper Street, right, it's all streets, road. And then the only avenue we have, it's here, Landing Avenue. Guys, am I blind? Do you see Hubert Avenue? I don't. Just to be sure. Octopus, no, it's not here. I guess maybe it's somewhere here. Let's just mark it here. And the last one. Western cover side. Somewhere here. Old Church Road and Tanner Street. Oh wait, I see Hubert Avenue. That's Hubert Avenue, eh? So we have Old Church. Let's just find it. It's like probably very small hidden again. Tanner Street. Ah, there it is. Tanner Street. Corner of Tanner Street and Old Church. Ah, probably here. And that's it, guys. I want to save all these new marks. Alright. What is that when you press M, like this weird thing that appears? It's a shark. Good for the family album. Oh, that's right, fucking behind me. Over there. Oh, fucking great. Let's save. For you though. Jesus. Nasty. Can I make more ammo, please? Great. You don't want to miss, I got the feeling. Okay. Should I have emptied my whole magazine into that thing? That one looked a little bit more resistant to me. So I was wondering, what the fuck was that thing in the sky? Wait, where? Didn't I save? Let's load the manual save. Wait, what? Dude, I did a manual fucking save earlier. Where is it? What time is it? 16:26. Are you serious? That's the one? When I came out of the hotel? No. So weird. Didn't I do a manual save? Did it save the stuff I got there and ported me back to the telephone cell? I think it did. What? Oh my god, do you see something that I see? Look at the name of the boat. Cyclops 2. Remember the boat there where he surfed on was called Cyclops? There's so many now. And I dodged. There's a 20. Alright. So can I save now here? Yes. That should have worked. Fucking thing. Give me a longer shot at this. Two bullets, great. Oops. Free flashlight. Okay, there's a boat too. There's even a person. So I can. And then you can pick it back up. Okay, I get it. Probably easier to use than bullets. These dogs are dangerous. Coming from Wonder what you guys think about this game. Like, I feel like you got like very little ammo, and I'm not saying that enemies are bullet spongy, but if you need like 4 or 5 bullets for the bigger ones and the melee attack is really clunky, that's really not so good. Weird, now the huge thing in the sky is gone. His ass is invisible. Didn't I make a mark for the main case? Key to the headquarters. Ah, there it is. Okay, just that way. Don't look like a cultist at all. Oh god, it's one of these, dude. Uh-oh. What? I need a shotgun for these, though. Where's the way out? Jesus. Fuck. They come out! Jesus, run!
Please, take anything.
No, not you, you idiot.
Please.
Fucking monsters.
Please, no. Please, no.
Guess I don't need the key.
Investigation, let's say. And then we continue, probably, I guess, in part 2. But it would be interesting to know what you guys think about this. So yeah. I see you then later.